Hey guys, so not long ago I was doing my usual weekend routine of cleaning my makeup brushes, and after I got my clean brushes all lined up and laid out on my vanity, I snapped a picture and posted it to Facebook. And boy, did that photo cause a little more of an uproar than what I was expecting. People were like, holy shit! Golly gee whiz, Courtney, that's a lot of makeup brushes. What do you do with all of them? Do you use them all on a daily basis? Yada, yada, yada. And a couple people asked me to post a video explaining my makeup brushes, how I use them, what I do with them, so on and so forth. So ask and you shall receive. I plan to break this video up into two parts. Part one is going to be face brushes and part two is going to be eye brushes. I feel like I have enough brushes that it's really necessary to break it up into two videos, and also it's kind of a boring subject, so I really don't want to ramble on and on about my makeup brushes. And also, a couple people have asked me to create a video on contouring, which I will do, and a video on everything. If you could be a little more specific, that'd be great. I assume that means a full face routine, which I can definitely do that for you. But if there's anything you want to see, just let me know. I can definitely share any tips and tricks that you would like. I am not a professional makeup artist. Most of you who are watching this probably know me. I'm a funeral director, so the only makeup I get paid to apply is on dead people. But anyway, I'm pretty good, so if you would like to see something in particular, let me know. I'll leave a comment and I'd be happy to see what I can do. I like to preface my explanation of my makeup brushes by saying that I always look for makeup brushes that are synthetic fiber bristles rather than natural fibers. And the reason for that is because think of your hair. Your hair is a natural fiber. When you put something on your hair, it absorbs it. It's the same for your makeup brushes. If you are using a natural fiber brush to apply a product, that brush is going to absorb the product and it's not all going to transfer onto your skin where you want it. Whereas if you use a synthetic fiber, the fiber is simply going to pick up the product and then you're going to apply it however you want to apply it. So that's my big recommendation for you. So first things first, let's get into the first makeup brush. If you purchase no other makeup brush that I discuss other than this one, let it be the F80 Flat Top Kabuki brush by Sigma. This is my foundation brush. It will change your life. I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but I'm really not kidding. I have gotten a couple people turned on to this brush and they both agreed it's life-changing. It is the perfect shape to apply your foundation, and if you are using sponges or wedges or one of those foundation brushes, more traditional foundation brushes that's like a glorified paintbrush, I'm not going to tell you you are applying your foundation wrong, but you are applying your foundation wrong. You are going to want to use this for your traditional liquid foundations. I am a liquid foundation kind of girl. This will not work for mineral foundations or powder foundations. I've used those before and they're okay, but I think they tend to look kind of chalky and lay on the skin and settle into pores and fine lines, and they just don't look good at all. So again, the F80 Flat Top Kabuki brush by Sigma. This is what you will want to get for a foundation brush. Again, a life changer. Or at least a face changer. Next brush I want to talk about is for contouring. This is the rounded blush brush and it is by Makeup Geek. When I first heard of this blush being used for contouring, I was like, what? A blush brush for contouring? I don't think so. It's not going to get into all the crevices in my face and all the low points that I want to fade away. So I was a little skeptical, but let me just give you an idea of the Makeup Geek rounded blush brush in relation to your traditional blush brushes. Look how much smaller it is. Believe me, this thing is made for contouring. I would not use this for blush at all. I like something that's a little fuller and is going to, that I'm not going to have to really just mess around in applying my blush. So the rounded blush brush by Makeup Geek. Perfect for contouring. Several people have asked me to create a contouring video. If that is something that you wish to see, leave me a comment and I'll see what I can do. And I should clarify, this is for powder contouring. I powder contour because I have oily skin. So rounded blush brush for powder contouring. If you are a cream contour kind of gal or guy, guys wear makeup too, that's totally fine. this is what I recommend. This is the MAC 163. It is similar to like the NARS Ita brush. It would also be similar to Morphe makes some brushes that are similar to this that are flat like this. So if you don't want to drop the money on MAC or on NARS, I recommend you check out Morphe, M-O-R-P-H-E. But this is what I use when I cream contour. Again, the MAC 163. So after I apply my foundation and I apply my contour, then I highlight under my eyes. I use just a concealer that's a shade or two lighter than my natural skin color, and I use the F86 to blend out my cream concealer. I'll apply the concealer with the applicator that it comes with, and then I blend it out with this brush. This is the F86 Taper Kabuki by Sigma. It is, I don't know what it is about this brush. I was really skeptical at using a brush to blend out my under eye concealer because I used to always use a beauty blender, which I'll get into in a few minutes. But the first time I used this, I was like, nope, no more beauty blender for blending out my under eye concealer. F86 Taper Kabuki by Sigma. This is what you will want to use to blend out your under eye concealer. It will keep it from getting into your fine lines, any creases, because me at my age, yeah, I've got fine lines. So that is something I definitely have to worry about. Next brush I want to talk to you about is the F25 Tapered Kabuki by Sigma. I don't know about you, but if I do not set my under eye concealer with powder, it gets creasy. My mascara will smudge off and raccoon under my eyes, and I just look like a hot mess real quick if I do not set my under eye concealer with some sort of powder. So I use the F25 Tapered Face Brush by Sigma. It is awesome and another face changer. Next brushes I want to talk about are blush brushes. For years, I used angled blush brushes. This is the F40 Large Angled Contour. This is by Sigma. And angled blush brushes are good. I feel like a lot of times the heads of the brush aren't big enough to apply the product like I want them to apply, or they apply streaky or choppy. So I have replaced my angled blush brush with the Real Techniques blush brush. And this has a really full, fluffy, soft head. And what I like about this is I can just a couple swipes and boom, I'm done. I can move on. And also, this was like, I want to say $8 or $10 at Ulta. It was really inexpensive. And I'm usually not one who bargain shops on anything because I feel like you get what you pay for. So I was pleasantly surprised that this was such a great brush. So check it out, the Real Techniques blush brush. Next brush I want to talk to you about is the F35 Tapered Highlighter Brush. This is also a brush by Sigma. I use this for powder highlighters, and I highlight on the tops of my cheeks, on the, a little bit on the bridge of my nose, just above my eyebrows, cupid's bow, and chin. And I feel like this is really good for applying the product where I want it to apply very precisely because I don't like highlighter all over my face. My face is already oily and shiny enough. I don't need to apply a bunch of extra shine to it. So the F35 Tapered Highlighter Brush by Sigma. Next product I want to talk to you about is called a Beauty Blender, and this is the sponge to end all sponges. The way a Beauty Blender works is you run it under water or submerge it in water and you squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, and it expands to about 2 to 3 times this size. And you can use this to apply foundation if you want, concealer. What I use it for, well, I briefly touched on it. I used to use it to blend out my under eye concealer, but now what I use it for is I use the fat end, and I use that to, well, I'll dot on liquid highlighter if I'm using liquid highlighter, and then I will use the fat end to blend it out. So again, Beauty Blender, you can get this at Sephora and a few other places. The sponge to end all sponges. A couple random makeup brushes I want to talk about. This is the Bobbi Brown Sheer Powder Brush. I have oily skin, so I used to always have to set my foundation with a powder. I don't anymore because of the foundation I currently use. It doesn't require a setting powder. If you're interested in knowing what products I use, let me know. I'd be happy to do, like I said, a full face routine. Just let me know. And then the next brush I use, which I'm sure has been discontinued like 25 years ago, this is a Sephora bronzer brush. I'm really not a big bronzer person. If I bronze anything, I'll maybe bronze my neck, but otherwise bronzing really isn't my thing. So it's just your standard big fluffy brush. The difference between this and say a powder brush is it's really dense. I would not use this to apply just setting powder, so that's just my 2 cents. So there you have it, my friends. That is Face Brush 101. I hope I have demystified the photo and helped to clear up any confusion that you might have had as to what I use all of these crazy shape makeup brushes for. If you have any other questions, leave me a comment below. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know. Leave a comment below on that too. Also, as I mentioned before, I will be making an eye brush video very soon, so that way you should be a makeup brush pro shortly. Thanks for watching. Bye.